Thanks, Beck. And good morning. I also would like to acknowledge the Gunai people as the traditional owners of the lands on which I'm joining you from today, but as well of the traditional owners of the many lands that people are joining us from today. I pay my respects to elders past and present, to young leaders emerging, and I offer this acknowledgement in Bushfire Recovery Victoria's commitment to reconciliation and to Aboriginal communities self-determining their recovery from natural emergencies. As we know, as we've heard so eloquently from Hilary just before, and from many of our speakers today, the bushfires of last year caused significant damage and impacts to wildlife and our natural environment. Bushfire Recovery Victoria works closely alongside communities, as well as DELWP and other agencies, to coordinate and support bushfire recovery efforts for biodiversity and for the environment. And our work can includes facilitating funding programs, engaging with communities to understand their needs and priorities, and then actually delivering programs to meet those needs and to help recovery of the species, ecosystems and places that are so important to Victorians. We're listening to bushfire affected communities, and we're working closely with you to support recovery, working to overcome environmental concerns together. And I'm thrilled to be here today at Forest Tech. This is my first time here and at these GLAWAC offices to announce the opening of our latest funding program. Drum roll. Applause will do. And they're called the Nature-Led Community Recovery Grants. So this project is a joint initiative between Bushfire Recovery Victoria, Zoos Victoria and DELWP. Through the program, recovery grants of up to $5,000 are available to local community organisations interested in running nature-led recovery projects in their local areas. The funding can be used to help bushfire affected communities deliver on-the-ground action for wildlife and habitats, or nature-based educational or arts programs, all with the aim of connecting environmental recovery with human recovery. This could include, for example, establishment of nature walks or interpretive trails that tell a story of community and forest recovery, and could possibly become regular community events. It could also include a project to protect a native species or environment, or artwork to raise awareness, or citizen science projects, or creating local community spaces for individual reflection, connection, and appreciation of our beautiful native wildlife and our stunning natural environment. So the grants are now open, and organisations wishing to apply can visit brv.vic.gov.au to download the guidelines and to submit an application. I'd like to thank our colleagues at DELWP and Zoos Victoria for their contribution to this funding program, and also to the management of the broader community recovery theme. I'd also like to take the opportunity, while there's so many of us here in both this room and our virtual room, to extend my very heartfelt thanks for the valuable work that you have all done over the past year to help our communities, our native species and our environment to recover from the fires. It's really been a privilege to be here today and to hear about the range and scope of nature recovery in Gippsland. As Beck mentioned at the very beginning, it has been probably the hardest year imaginable for Victoria's bushfire affected communities. But we at BRV have been proud to stand with you every step of the way and provide dedicated support for recovery. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Carmel. I was going to go to questions, but I could just see everyone's thought pattern going, oh, what idea have I got for $5,000 worth of community grants? So But we have got a few minutes for any questions. So any of the speakers that we've had in session 2.